Okay, that's the second time this week. Again, no volume. Great to see. But as I was saying, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads. Don't know what's going on with the mic. Keep forgetting to turn on the volume. A second time in a row. Hopefully we don't do that a third time tomorrow. But yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. Check out the Elevating Traders Discord channel, completely free to join. Make sure you check it out. Links to that at the top of the chat. Can't miss it. There will be some discount opportunities there at launch. So make sure you check that out if you don't want to miss out on that. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Kang? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Keris, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Thoughts on pound USD, enter the long around 1.334. Okay, we'll take a look, no problem. What's up, Dark Sean? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Holy One? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Good morning, Manzondi. I don't know why I keep forgetting to turn on the volume. Poor. Anyway, we'll start with some market analysis as always. We'll go through pound USD for Kang, see what we're saying with pounds. Last time I checked was very, very bullish. I did hop into some pound yen positions as well. Looking for a re-entry on that one for some shorts. We'll go through that as well. Pound CAD, Darkstrom, we'll take a look, no problem. Alarm went off at 8 p.m. in pound CHF buy to the next high. Okay, damn. Holy One is on it. We'll take a look at pound CHF as well. Is it time for some shorts? Okay, we'll discuss. We'll take a look. So we'll go through pound USD first, take a look at pound yen, then we'll go through pound CAD and pound Swiss as well. So with a lot of pound pairs, with pound USD, okay, so we have seen a bit of a dip. But more or less the market has been really, really bullish. So with this one, I'm expecting a retracement sooner or later, of course, because we're just creating new highs past this swing point here. So we're going to be due a retracement at some point. We could still fly another 100 pips if price wants to. But if you're looking to buy pound, you're kind of looking at it on an intraday level, riding that momentum whilst it's intact, whilst it's still here. But eventually, probably some point this week or maybe early next week, we do expect to see some retracement at some point. And again, that's not guaranteed. It's just a logical expectation of what you expect the market to do at this point. So in terms of the buy you're looking at, you enter the long at 1.334. Let me mark that in so I can see what we're working with. 1.334, that's around there. Targets. Okay, stop loss 1.321. That's more or less. Okay, bit of size in that stop loss there. If you've given me that correctly. And risk reward 1 to 2. So you're looking at probably somewhere around there, maybe, probably a little bit higher. So get the risk reward tool out, entry, stop, 1 to 2. Yeah, more or less around here-ish. Not bad risk reward. I always like anything above a 1 to 1, I always say. As long as you're banking more on your wins than your losses, I think you're in a good place. Of course, the more the better, but anything more than 1 to 1 is always a good start. In terms of the buy, I'm not the biggest fan because of where it's placed. I would like this buy to be like here-ish, trying to capitalize on the next high low should it form. Buying here, again, it's not the worst buy in the world because if the trend is going to continue, we can still very much keep flying to the upside. But you're kind of banking on the trend kind of ripping to the upside at this point, which, as I said, could happen, but also in an area where it could be going through a retracement as well. I can see your stop loss is kind of just underneath the high here. So you're kind of giving yourself room for that break and retest should it happen. And if it does happen, I think that's not a bad place for an entry, actually. If we're going to come back for a retest, probably kind of reduce that risk from 129 pips to probably half or maybe a third of that and look for something like this, which I think has got a bit more backing because at least at that point, the market's had a bigger retracement. You're buying from a more suitable area where the market could then really fly in your direction, and maybe you do catch that next high low and the market does rip in your direction. So with the buy, I'm not totally against it, because you have given yourself a lot of room to stop loss. Effectively, if I was looking for the buy and the retest of that high, my stop loss would be in the same region as where your stop loss is now. So you're kind of in a sensible place where, okay, if the market does break underneath this, maybe the market's going to have a deep retracement, so I might as well look for re-entry anyway, rather than sit in that trade all the way from 1.334. So I like the stop loss. It's giving you plenty of room to work with. I think the targets, you're asking a lot of the market there, but again, in terms of the risk reward, it makes sense, and there probably are some areas we could be drawn towards. But my only fear with that position is that we might go through retracement. Just how deep will that retracement will be? Will it be just to retest this area and continue, or somewhere around there? Or will it break below and continue further? Again, as long as you manage your risk and you're not betting the farm on the trade, if it does stop you out, it stops you out as part of the game. And you can always look to re-enter, and with a positive risk reward, you can make back your loss plus some more. So it's not the end of the world if it does fail. But I think the main thing going for you is it's a decent stop loss placement. Entry, not bad, could have been better. But then again, I don't want to put too much importance on the entry. So yeah, I would say let the trade play out. My only critique would be, after we've had such a big push, I'd like the market to retrace, at least see some downside in the higher time frames before I'd look for such a big buy, because you're looking for a big swing there. And the market could definitely give us that, but I'd like the market to go for a retracement first before I would anticipate such a big buy. So that would be my only kind of critique. But you're following the trend. The trend's going to continue. We could see price pushing your favor. I'll probably look at some type of trail just to protect myself. But I think the stop loss is in a really nice place. So as long as price doesn't break underneath this level, it's a good chance we do push in your favor. And there could be some re-entries there anyway. So not bad on pound. I am bullish on the market as well, but I would like to retrace before buying. Okay, so we'll go through pound yen. We'll take a look at pound CAD, pound CHF as well. Is it time for shorts? Is that for pound CAD? Okay, we'll discuss. Okay, 8 a.m. Makes sense, makes sense. Dorcas, good morning. Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Indumiso. I keep saying your name differently every time I read that out. There, I'll get the hang of it. But welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Morning, Brian. Welcome. So yeah, with pound yen, I have hopped into another position. I was taking out the trade early this week, but I have got a re-entry at the high. Give myself a little bit of room with the stop loss, but I'm looking for a pretty big swing here with pound yen, should we see it play out all the way back to the 180 area. So it's a pretty big swing, roughly 1,100 pips. So in terms of pips, it's a lot, but then again, my stop loss is pretty big as well, 223 pips. So the stop loss is not small by any means. But in relation to the market, it's pretty reasonable, to be honest. It's not like a crazy stop where my stop's all the way up here. It's pretty reasonable. It's just that there's a lot of pips right now with pound yen, because it's such a volatile market. But yeah, I've gone for an entry off the high there. Stops above there with a bit of wiggle room. See if we can catch that reversal. Again, the plan is that we've seen such a big melt to the downside, and now I'm looking for us to put that next level high in and get that continuation. So very much bearish on these yen pairs. Pound yen looks the best. That's kind of where my focus lies for now. Since we've come back into the high, I'm anticipating a reversal and looking for us to continue back into the lows here. Probably further as well, but I'll just be trading my stop to see how far I can take it. I could be out the trade long before this, or I could be trading it even further down. Who knows? The only thing I can say, though, about the sales is that they're typically quite heavy. When the market does decide it wants to sell off, it does sell off pretty hard, especially for the yen pairs. So if I catch this right, it could be a really, really nice trade. So in terms of the risk reward, makes a lot of sense. Just waiting to see if we can get that reversal. So keeping a close eye on this position, but that is my new trade I've hopped into yesterday. So I'm going to track that one, see how that gets going. In terms of pound CAD has been pretty bearish this morning. Again, with pound CAD, we kind of hit an area where you're kind of expecting the market to retrace, especially with the move that we had last week. Excuse me. We had a really nice follow through, similar to pound USD, really nice follow through to the upside. So now expecting retracement. Is a pretty big level down here around 1.784, 783, which we could be attracted towards and see pound CAD move to. So I think if you're shorting pound CAD, that looks like a reasonable target to have and a reasonable place to actually start considering buying the market as well, where we could see another dip, another push up as well. But we have been a little bit extended now, so I'm anticipating some retracement for pound CAD. I think if you're looking to sell, ideally you kind of already want to be in the position. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be looking to sell now. I mean, if you're on an intraday level, maybe a retest of here could look good. Depends how we get there and depends how we react, but that could be a nice place for an intraday trade. You know, stops above the high, and then seeing if you can take advantage of a swing, you know, back to the lows or some areas down there. Doesn't necessarily have to be a big swing to that 4-hour level. But from intraday level, we are kind of breaking structure on the left and seeing some nice momentum too. So pullbacks and shorts do look good, but I wouldn't try and push it for too long because it is still counter trend. The trend's still very much up. High time frames are still very much bullish. So if you're in an intraday level, you want to be a little bit careful. But the idea with pound CAD that if the market is going to topple out and see that lower high in, then I'm expecting price to come back into that area there. So yeah, pound CAD, I do like the downside. I think we're coming to an area where retracement looks likely. And I like this area here for a buy as well. So if the market does make its move down to here, that's kind of an area which I'll consider looking to buy pound CAD. I mean, so consistent for all these high lows. So yeah, I'll be expecting another one to form. Of course, we'll see how price gets there, see how we react. But from a technical standpoint, it looks good to me. But yeah, ideally, you kind of already want to be in the sells. Unless you're going to look for an intraday retracement, then yeah. Okay, where was I? Okay, so we'll take a look at pound CHF. Came to the hourly 50 and had another fight, and then the candle turned large and broke it. Then I entered. Okay, cool. We'll take a look. So I entered. So you're doing this trade on the hourly time frame, I suppose. What's up, Rusty? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. How long are you be trading? What your main three pairs? I don't really have main pairs. I look at a wide range of pairs. I've been trading around 8 years since I first got introduced to Forex. But yeah, I don't have three main pairs I look at. I look at a wide range. I create watch lists every week, depending on the markets, which look the most tradable. I think in terms of my preferred pairs, it will definitely be the majors, but I don't have main pairs which I just exclusively focus on. Early one, careful of the yen pairs. My weeks are still in buy zones, but still the sells. I'm waiting for the 4-hour breaks before I enter any yen. I mean, yeah, if the trend on the higher time frame is going to continue, it's going to continue. But from my analysis, we've hit some areas where we're likely to reverse, and we've come into some areas on the daily and 4-hour where we're likely to see some selling pressure come into the market. If these levels aren't going to hold, they're not going to hold. I've got my stops in place for a reason. I'm not betting the farm on the trade. I've risked a sustainable amount, and I've got my stops in a good place. Should the market take me out of the trade, then of course I'll take the loss and then walk on. It might be a case where we kind of dance around the high for a bit and then we sell off. But for my analysis, we're still in an area where sales look good. If it doesn't hold, it doesn't hold. If we do hold, then of course, hopefully I can reap the rewards back down to that low there. But yeah, it's a slightly more aggressive trade because we are seeing bullish momentum on the lower time frames as we do push up. So I'm looking to call that top essentially at the high. So it's a slightly more aggressive trade since I'm trying to essentially say, okay, this is the high. I'm expecting the market to drop from here, but I'm happy with it. The risk reward makes sense. So I'm happy to take that trade. And again, my risk is managed as well. So if the yen pairs start breaking through this and we see higher highs and higher lows consistently, then of course I back away. Maybe the yen pairs are going to start trending to the upside, and maybe they're going to be bullish longer term. That could be the case. But as of right now, I still have that bearish bias due to the higher time frames. So yeah, I'm going to look to see that out until I'm proven wrong. But yeah, the yen pairs are bullish, so definitely have to be careful. Okay, we'll go through pound Swiss, see what Holy One is doing with that one. You said you're long back to the high, I think. This one is definitely looking bullish this morning. Is pound pretty strong? I think pound is strong. Or is CHF weak? Okay, might be CHF. But yeah, that's a really big move there for pound CHF. You said you hopped into the trade around 8 a.m. So that would be somewhere around here then, because this candle open at 7 would have closed at 8 UK time. So around here would be the entry. So looking really good there, pound CHF. I think you said you're targeting to the highs. We're practically almost there. So probably the next 30 minutes, you probably expect price to be probably creating some new highs. Of course, we could dance a little bit when we're here, but momentum is looking really, really strong right now. I think CHF is looking pretty weak. Yeah, Euro CHF is flying. CAD CHF is really flying. Aussie CHF is doing a pretty good job as well, and same with New Zealand CHF. So it looks like CHF is really weak at this point in time. So if that keeps it up, pound CHF probably will be creating some new highs pretty soon. What's up, Jack? Good morning. Welcome to the stream. It is going well. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Thoughts on UC CAD? Okay, we'll go take a look. Got into a short position yesterday, 9 a.m. UK time. Currently 50 pips for my take profit. Nice. Looking good, looking good. Okay, we'll take a look at dollar CAD as well. Look at the 50 MA. Okay, a few pips away. Nice, nice, nice. Let's draw on the 50, see what the 50 is doing. I think that's the 50 because I remember, yeah, we're looking at the 50 for someone else. Okay, so the 50s in that area is kind of breaking above with this candle here. But we're more or less in that zone of the 50. So if the market is going to reject this area, then I'm expecting us to hold that high. If we do start committing to the upside and start doing something like this, then yeah, maybe the market is going to start trending high or continuing this uptrend. And maybe we are going to push back to that high eventually. So that could very much be the case. But at the moment, we're still in that seller's territory for me. So as long as we can hold this level, I will look for the market to reverse. I've got my stops above the high. I've given some wiggle room as well. So even if we do see the market dance a little bit, I should be safe. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. But I like with the 50s positions, to be honest, on the daily chart. Of course, it's breaking above it slightly, but we're more or less in that vicinity where we could reject that area and topple out. So we'll see how that gets going. Of course, we're seeing a bit bullish momentum at the moment. But if the market can hold that area, then we should be looking good. And again, the risk reward looks phenomenal if it does play out. So the risk profile I'm happy with. It's just whether we'll put that top in or not. Okay, I'll go take a look at dollar CAD before I forget. Rusty strategy, again, my strategy is main structure and support resistance. There's other flavors to it in terms of confluences, candlestick patterns, but it's really just around playing market structure and support resistance. Senzo, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. NAS 100. Okay, we'll take a look. Oh, you mean the H150 for the pound CHF trade? That's why I entered. Oh, okay. Okay, let me go take a look at that. Okay, H150. That is the 50. So did you enter on the break above that? So I'm guessing you probably would have entered there. Or do you enter before? I'm pretty sure you normally wait for the candle to break above the 50 or break below. What's up, Elder? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, okay, exactly in the break. Okay, I see. Nice. Well, yeah, not looking good. I mean, I suspect to be hitting your TP right about now, to be honest. It is looking very bullish this morning. CAD CHF, Euro CHF. Yeah, the CHF pairs are not messing around at all, pushing really, really hard. I'll go take a look at dollar CAD before I forget. So yeah, dollar CAD had a big bearish day yesterday. Had a bit of a hint of some downside momentum on Tuesday. Not Tuesday, sorry, on Monday with this move here, but then we really collapsed yesterday on Tuesday, and we actually kind of taken that low as well. I think dollar breaking lower definitely helped that out, although dollar's looking marginally bullish at the moment, but a strong break of that support level is pretty significant to me, and that definitely helped dollar CAD fall. I think CAD was a little bit strong as well, so that helped out too. But yeah, where's your target, Jack? Is it 50 pips from where current price is, I suppose? So if I measure out 50 pips, so your target's maybe more or less the 1.339 area, 338. So yeah, I mean, from a top-down perspective, I think there's a lot of downside to be had for dollar CAD because I'm looking at dollar CAD on the weekly chart and it just looks like a big range to me. You've got the equal highs there, equal lows there. Not long ago, we had a big rejection of the high, so naturally I'm expecting price to make its way back to the low and just continue that range. So nothing complicated. In the meantime, we've had a nice break of some more local levels of support and resistance, which is this area here, and it has reacted very well as resistance. And you can see the market is now using that to continue its original bearish momentum. So I do think longer term we're getting back to this level here. Of course, dollar CAD is not a simple, clean moving pair. It takes its time. I don't expect us just to drop and see another big bearish candle like that. It could happen, but I think we'll probably take our time a little bit, maybe a bit of sideways, maybe drop a little bit, push up, and then push down. So I'm expecting something like that. But I do think there's a good chance we do make our way to 1.3323. So in my book, there's a lot more downside to for us to see for dollar CAD. And yeah, I would expect us to get to your take profit. I mean, depends where you've entered because we might go through a retracement. Maybe price might want to go tag some of these areas. So I say watch out for that. But naturally, I'm expecting us to continue south anyway. But yeah, really nice stuff from dollar CAD. And if dollar keeps falling as well, because dollar, I'm looking for us to get into the low here, down at 99.6, 99.5. So if dollar can hold this level here as resistance and not break above it, then we should see dollar remain bearish for the rest of the week and us keep falling to that 99.6 area, which of course will really help out your dollar CAD short. So if I was you, I'll be looking to see if we can hold onto this level here. And if we do, should be going to hit your take profit pretty soon afterwards. But yeah, it's a solid break. So if we can hold that, I do expect us to drop. Maybe it's a fake out, but I'm still very bearish on dollar longer term. So I do think we'll keep falling. Roadway, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I'm doing good, my man. Hope you're doing good too. Welcome. Alpha 42 pips, not bad. Smash and grab there, holy one. Smash and grab. If I may ask, is USD normally bullish in October or bearish? Yeah, you go take a look at a seasonality chart. I won't know the average of USD in October. Yeah, I wouldn't know. You can go Google a seasonality chart, and you'll get one on Google. I've moved my stop loss as we go down. I've been working on trading stops. Nice. I've entered that 1.357. I've moved my stop loss above that level. You've marked out. Okay. If I go on dollar CAD, so around here would your trail stop be? Nice, not bad, not bad. Again, trail stops are very effective, especially when you trade them in the right conditions. When the market's trending well, trail stop loss can be very effective. Certainly if you're going to use, market lows or your risk reward multiples, very effective. When you're trading kind of markets that are range bound and just kind of pushing back up, pushing back down, and back and forth, that's when trail stop losses are not that effective, because you need direction. You need direction for it to be effective. If the market just keeps reversing on itself all the time, then it's not going to be effective in those conditions. But in this case, if we can see dollar CAD continue to trend to the downside like so, you're going to be expecting lower lows and lower highs repeatedly. So as long as you can, respect those highs and price isn't going to break structure, it will do you a good service by keeping in the trade to your take profit. And worst case scenario, if the market does decide to reverse, your trail stop loss will protect you and lock in some gains as well. So it's a win-win. Anyway, we'll go through. Okay, I'll take a look at Euro USD FX Fiend. We haven't looked at it yet. What's up, Tom? Welcome to the stream. Hope Wednesday is kicking in nicely. I mean, not so much with my pound yen trade, but it's still early doors. I'm not going to say anything bad about Wednesday just yet. Hoping for it being bullish. That sounds clear. What they meant and focusing on the employment side. Okay. Yeah, I'm really bearish in USD. We might see bullish USD, but I think longer term, there's a lot of room to the downside for dollar. I've been speaking about 99.6 for a while, and I still think we're going to get there. Even if we do go through a bullish move and price see some upside, I do think it's just to form a lower high for us to push down and get that low eventually. So I'm really, really bearish on dollar. Even if we go through a lot of upside, I'll be looking to call those tops and push down. I've marked out some areas around here which look good to me in terms of sells or buys on euro and pound, depending on the corresponding pair. But to me, I do expect us to end up back at the low. It's either just going to break down or we go for a bigger pullback first and then come down. So that's kind of my take on dollar. And yeah, after breaking that low as well yesterday, not looking too good. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with dollar. Harry, USD CAD, okay, I'll quickly run through that. Will, welcome to the stream, hope you're well. I'm finding it a bit tricky trading stops, but I'm getting the hang of it slowly. Nice. Yeah, again, this is an art to it. It's nothing that you'll get first time. Again, practice makes perfect with everything, because effectively with trading stop loss, you're managing a trade. So you need to gain experience managing trades in that way. And again, the best way to gain experience and practice is to do it in the first place. So yeah, I would say you can back test as well. Try and back test and using trail stops and see and gain experience that way as well. Of course, it's not the real thing, but you will pick up some things in back testing, which can speed up the process when you are live trading as well. So I would say back test trading stops as well, and that will help in terms of speeding up the process. But yeah, it will take time to become comfortable with it, of course. Oil price action, a little bit meh still in there. Okay, we'll take a look, Will, at oil too. NAS 100. I forgot about NAS, didn't I? Senzo, I'll go take a look at that now. NAS 100. So, awkward stuff. Let me know what you're looking to do, Senzo, with NAS. I am pretty bullish on NAS. I do think this is where we're coming to with NAS back to the high. So that's very much the trade idea I'm looking for. Yesterday, I was speaking on if we can get the break and we tested this area, then look for some buys on the back of this area back to the high. I think to me, that looks like the most sensible, the most logical trade idea. So that's kind of what I'll be looking at for NAS. At the moment, it's kind of 50-50 with the price going to break out. So if you could see a bit momentum this afternoon, that'd be great. Get the retest, find some buys, and then Bob's your uncle. You got a nice little trade there. And the range looks pretty good as well. So you'll be working with a decent risk reward as well there too. So it's worth the risk. But if we start melting and coming back inside the range, maybe we do push down to this level, which I think is a great place for a buy as well. Of course, that'll be a pretty big move, but I think that's a really nice place for a buy should we get there. But I think the more realistic, the more likely opportunity would be the breakout of this consolidation, the retest of it, and then your buys. That's what I'll be looking at for NAS, because that's the area I'm expecting us to get to. If you look at US 30, look at S&P, those guys are making all-time highs and they're still slowly pushing on. NAS is kind of lagging behind a little bit, but I do think NAS will catch up. So yeah, looking for push into 2730, and this is kind of the idea I'm looking at. That's kind of the only idea that makes sense on a buy, really. Breaking retest of that high. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with NAS. Quickly go for dollar CAD and oil. What's up, Jonah? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Okay, I'll take a look at gold. No problemo, my friend. Welcome. Okay, gold and silver, we'll take a look. Hope we hit the TP soon, so I can do it for the week. Unless I get into GJ, then I'll be taking that one too. Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, again, you don't want to be looking to force or rush anything. Trading, you're just taking the trades that come your way. Maybe you get 3 trades this week, maybe you get 1, maybe you get 5. You want to be flexible and ready to pounce when the opportunity is there. Because again, you're looking for good opportunities. When a good opportunity arises, you want to be there to take it. And if you get another opportunity, as long as your risk management is on point, then you don't want to hesitate. But anyway, we'll go through dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, as I was mentioning earlier, it's difficult now because ideally you kind of want to already be in the position since we've just taken out that low. So if anything, we might see a bit of retracement now with dollar CAD, but I'm still very, very bearish on the pair. I do like the low here. If we can break through this properly and see a lot of downside, that could become a really nice place for a retest and some shorts. I've spoken on dollar CAD previously, but what we're looking for is a push back down to this low here. We've got a big ranging market on the weekly, and we rejected the high really well. So now I'm looking for us to come back into the low. So that's what I'm looking to that's what I'm expecting from dollar CAD. Swing back to the low of the range. So if you do see price go on and break through the low there again, that will leave behind a nice level of resistance where we could be looking to play some shorts should everything line up properly. But dollar CAD bearish is the bias for me, expecting more downside. If the market pulls up even to this area, there could be some nice intraday trades, pull back into that area short, back into the low. That's a nice trade there as well. So you're just looking for opportunities to try and catch those highs, whether we get the big break and a retest of the low, or price decides it wants to test some structure there on the lower time frames. Probably some entries on the hourly or the 30 might look good. But the idea for dollar CAD is trying to take those shorts and ride that momentum to the downside. That's very much what my plan is with dollar CAD. So yeah, expecting a lot more downside there. In terms of oil, I think oil's still just about rejecting that level. So yeah, we've been talking about 71, 72, this kind of area roughly with oil. We're just about respecting it. There's our daily support, broken through, of course. Now we flipped and now acting as resistance. You can see yesterday's candle was pretty bullish, but it just left a big spike above that level and pull back down. So that's a good sign with oil. Price was at one point breaking above that level yesterday, but it didn't manage to sustain those prices and it came straight back down and gave us that big wick on the daily. So that's a good sign. You're definitely right. It's a little bit slow, a little bit stale. But if we can keep this level here as resistance and we don't see a close above it, then I think there's a good chance that oil does give us that drop and continues with this structure here. We've got a lower high there, second, third, looking at fourth in that area, another push down. So I still like this oil position. It still makes a lot of sense. We're still in a nice area of confidence there as well. And the market's still giving us a nice rejection there too. So as long as we don't see a candle closure above there today, I feel like oil is probably going to drop. And again, Doesn't necessarily have to be a target all the way down there. If you drop to the 4 hour, there's some minor levels of support resistance, which could look good in terms of partials or starting to trail a stop loss. That'll be up to you, of course, as the trader, but I think the opportunity still looks good. Might not be moving the greatest, but I think the idea, the opportunity still looks good. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with oil. Still in the trade, nice. Hopefully that can play out for you, Will. Okay, so we'll go through gold and silver. Euro pound Command Z, Captain. We'll take a look, no problem. So yeah, with gold, yeah, very bullish yesterday. Not a lot we can do here unless you're intraday, 50-minute time frame, even lower potentially. We're just not seeing that much of a pullback at this point. We're ready to go and hit 2650. The next psychological level I've got after that is 2700. So that is kind of where I'm looking for gold to get to next. The idea is I'm looking for a pullback. Again, as a person who likes trading in the 4 hour, the next meaningful area for a pullback for me would be this area here. So 2590 more or less. Didn't get the retest there. Looks like we're not going to get the retest there. We could see a pullback there. I'm not going to rule it off completely. That could still be an opportunity, but I don't think it's that likely. I think if we do retrace for gold now, I think the most logical place is for a price to come back and retest some of this area and probably use that to fuel some more upside. So if you're looking at gold, I'll still keep up that bullish bias. I wouldn't be looking to short. I understand prices definitely overextended for gold. But you have to understand gold is a little bit different to other FX pairs. If this was euro, I wouldn't be looking to buy kind of at all because we're at all-time highs. I'll be expecting the market to have a big meltdown soon. And gold will eventually go through some downside, of course. It's not going to fly forever, but the thing is with gold, once we get flying, we could really fly. And this trend could last quite a long while. Look at what we had at the start of the year. It just kept pushing. So the idea is that if we're going to do that again, you're just looking for those pullbacks to keep buying until you're proven wrong, until price gives us something to fear. Big rejection, lower high, something like that. At the moment, we're not seeing anything like that with gold. So the market does retrace. I like this area here, brief consolidation, nice breakout there. Should the market retrace to that area, I think that's a nice, sensible place for a buy. Again, intraday, maybe some entries in the hourly or even the 30-minute time frame, even lower than that, if you really want to refine it. And yeah, I'll be looking at some buys here and targets back where we came from. I would advise some trading stops as well for gold, because if things move really well, you don't really know how far it could go. So just trading some stops, trading some small positions can really milk the opportunity for all it's worth, really. And you never know how far it could move. It could just fly to 2,800 and you could be onto a really big winner there. So that's kind of what I got for gold. This is still a level I like, but I don't think we'll retrace that much. I think gold's too bullish. So I think this is your next best bet around the 2640 area, and then looking for some upside from then on. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm taking away from gold. Silver situation, I like it. It's bullish, but we're just going to hit the big high now. I'm around 32.4, 32.5. So now with silver, I'm still very bullish on the market, but now's not the best time to buy. I kind of want to see the market go through a bit of a retracement first. Effectively, a retracement to this area would be very, very nice. If you can get a buy around there, that would be much appreciated. But I don't think we'll see a big enough pullback for that, because again, I just think the market's in that kind of bullish mode where it's just going to keep pushing higher. So I think with silver, this could be a nice buy again intraday, and again looking for us to come back to where we came from around 32.2. I think that's a pretty sensible move there for silver. And if we can get the break, you might want to leave some small positions to run there as well. But yeah, in my book, silver and gold look really, really bullish. Gold's kind of off on one right now. Silver looks like it's wanting to join. Silver does have a big level, big obstacle in its way, kind of with this level here. But I do think eventually silver will get that breakout. It just depends how far will we move down first before we get the break. Will it move down there, then get the break, or will it continue a little bit further and then give us the break? We'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, these two areas look like great places for a buy, 31.4 and also 30.14 as well. So that's very much my thinking there for silver and gold. Only looking for upside on both of them. We'll go for Euro Pound. Holy One preparing for GA and GN big buys. Okay. Not ready yet though, probably mid next week. Okay. A bit longer term this time. Okay, UK 100 nearly ready for buys as well. Just need more confirmation. I'll know by Friday. Okay. We'll take a look at UK 100 as well. Let me first go for Euro Pound. So Captain Commandy, let me know what you're looking at with Euro Pound, because this one was very, very bearish this week. Flooded to the downside. There's a massive level of support around 0.83, which I've been looking for Euro Pound to get into. It's more or less kind of hit that level, but not to the pip. But anyway, we're having a bit of a reaction. The market's seeing some upside, but you can see we've been falling for a while. So I do think with Euro Pound, this becomes a sensible place for a short. And even so does this area here as well, because that was our last low, which we broke through with a lot of momentum. Price might want to retest that area or potentially that area before seeing some more downside. But I would be bearish on Euro Pound. There's a lot of momentum in the market right now. You can see a massive drop there. A really corrective retracement there, really corrective pullback, another big drop as well. So there's clearly a lot of bearish momentum in the market. So I'll be expecting that to continue, and 0.83 is my target still for Euro Pound. So it's a pretty hefty retracement here. So do you think we'll see more upside? I like it to become a little bit more corrective though, but these are the areas where I would anticipate some downside from, and looking for some lower highs. But yeah, Euro Pound, I do see more downside. The trend's starting to open up right now, and there is some higher time frame support down here, which I expect us to come back and test. So yeah, if I'm looking at opportunities for Euro Pound, it would be on those lower highs. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro Pound. Let me know what you're after as well. In terms of Pound NZD and Pound Aussie, I do like the buys for this for these guys. I'm looking for us to push back into their daily, weekly highs for now. Pound NZD, similar situation as well. Pound NZD, I like the buys if it is to push back down into this low here. That's kind of where I'm looking for my swing. I know it's a much bigger trade than you're after, than what you're looking for, Holy One. But from a swing perspective, I like the buys here for Pound NZD. Massive level of resistance. Haven't really come back to retest it yet. In fact, we just missed it down here as well. So if price was to roll over again, hopefully we can come and test this level properly this time. Get the buys, get the longs, and then look to see how far I can take it. Best case scenario back at the high, but I probably will be trailed out by then. Anyway, but yeah, I like Pound NZ to the upsides, coming back into some nice support. And I do think I'm looking for some upside there. Pound Aussie, I like the buys as well. I think for me to buy this one for Pound Aussie, I need the price to be at least back at this low here before I consider buying, which is around 1.93. And then I can get a nice little stop loss underneath the low, and then seeing how far I can take it. Again, best case scenario, maybe 1.99, but again, there's some areas to consider. 1.97 is a big level to watch out for. Even the high here is definitely something to watch out for as well. But yeah, I think in terms of a swing, there's a lot of opportunity here for Pound Aussie and Pound NZD as well. The key thing to me is that we're still maintaining these higher lows. So as long as that still remains a thing and we don't start cracking through the floor, that to me is still a bullish market. If we start breaking this low, I'll be backing off and probably rethinking things, reanalyzing. But from a swing point of view, there's a lot of buys. Okay, we'll go take a look at UK 100. Good morning, OP. Welcome to the stream. Dollar Yen has done me tell you this London session. Don't worry, my man. It happens. It happens. I'm shorting pound yen as well, and at the moment, still seeing the yen pairs still push up. So I'm looking for some yen strength, which is not really on the cups yet. Again, it's a bit more an aggressive trade, but we'll see how it plays out. Again, as long as you're managing your risk, you're going to take losses. Holy One of Israel. Oh, okay. You're looking to swing. Okay, makes sense. So yeah, if you're looking for swings, I'm with you with that one as well. I'm with you in terms of that bias, because from a swing point of view, they look really good to the upside. Makes sense because you said you know by Friday and mid next week, so makes sense. But yeah, I like them to the upside. I like them to the upside as well. UK 100, we'll have a look. See, you said you're looking for a buy. Is this one a swing bias as well, Holy One, or is this a shorter term move? You said you know by Friday, so I'm thinking maybe a swing, but I'll let you answer that question. So I like the buys for UK 100, but I just don't like how we're moving. It's kind of awkward. I'm going to remove this level of resistance. Not really respecting it well. I said yesterday, this is kind of where I like to buy the market from, which is this zone here where we've got all of these wicks here. Big swing, big wick, big wick in that area. So if the market can do me something like that again, I'm expecting it to hold, looking for entries in that area, higher stops below the low. They're looking for a big swing to the upside. So that's very much what I'm looking for UK 100. And I like the buys there. In terms of inside here, it's a bit difficult just because of how it's moving. It's very, very choppy, very, very back and forth. So I'm trying to stay away from this and trying to buy as low down as possible. So I'm kind of as far away as possible from that noise. Of course, won't be perfect, but at least this is a pretty sensible level to anticipate a reaction from. And if we can get one, stops below and targets back to the high, look pretty good there to me. So I like UK 100 to the upside. I think for these indices, they're most likely just going to keep pushing up higher as we see that pattern repeat, breakout of the highs there, so on and so forth. But it's just about finding that opportunity to trade, finding that opportunity to get an entry, put a stop loss in a safe place, and take advantage of the move. For me, that kind of only makes sense around 81, 100. Inside here, it's just a little bit difficult. Okay, this one's swing also as well. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the potential is there for a swing. If we're going to push back, if the trend's going to continue in the higher time frames, we're most likely going to get back to the high. So again, you could probably start off intraday. I know a lot of traders who like to start off intraday and then hold positions to see if they run into swing, and they kind of take their profit or trail along the way. But yeah, it is moving quite sideways as well. So price action isn't great, but I think there is a lot of upside to be had with UK 100 and the indices in general. I think NAS as well is in a similar boat. I'm expecting it to get back to the high. As long as we can break the high WAP now, I do think we're going to push back to 2,700. So in my opinion, there's a lot of upside to be had. And then, of course, US 30, this one's still pushing up. So I actually expect to see retracement at some point. But for now, the market is still so bullish. S&P is still kind of fighting higher as well. So yeah, it's pretty bullish for the indices. Pretty bullish. The oil's starting to reject that area pretty nicely there. Hopefully that can start to see some downside for Will. How is the old Japanese index doing, since we're talking about some indices? And since I'm interested in that one as well. Okay, so we didn't quite make it to the high there, so there is still that possibility we might push up back there. In fact, with how price is moving, we probably will see another push back to the high. Hopefully that won't be such a big move there, and I can stomach that on pound yen. Because this is the level which I was talking about last week, which looks good for a short pounds for the Japanese index, or at least for price to roll over. Haven't quite made it there yet, so maybe we do go push one more time to get there, and then we might see the shorts. I think if price is to break through this, that's when things get pretty awkward for me. If price starts breaking through that, that's probably where I probably fold my arms and say, okay, maybe I was incorrect with the bias with pound with pound yen and the rest of the yen pairs. If you do go and break through that, if you can respect that, see some rejection there, great. I think we will get that sell off. But if you start breaking through, maybe we are just going to do something like this back to the high. And even if that is the case, I can always flip the bias around because there's a long way for us to go for these yen pairs, to get back to the highs if that's where they're going. There's a long, long way away. So if that's the case and they do want to trend up, there will be some really nice buying opportunities, to take these guys back to the highs as well. That's the beauty of trading. You can go both ways. You don't have to be so stubborn. Of course, you want to have things in place which keep you bearish, keep you bullish, but then of course you want to have things in place that say, okay, the bias isn't bearish anymore. It's bullish because of XYZ, and then you want to not just be stubborn and look to change that bias as well with it. Okay, the DAX is tempting. It's back where I entered 2-3 days ago. I may go back in. I need to monitor and analyze again. Okay, we'll take a look at the DAX as well. Were you buying or selling the DAX? About time it starts moving. Yeah, I've noticed that with oil, to be fair. We do have some pretty big moves in oil, but we do kind of have some brief consolidations. Like if you look at the price action with oil, like we do have some really kind of big drops, but we do kind of have some brief stall, like when the market stalls a little bit, consolidates, especially on the higher time frames as well. You can see the daily has those long periods, but when it gets going, it can really go with oil. So if this is going to be the next lower high, we could dance there for 2-3 days. So maybe be prepared for that. We could kind of see bearish candle, bullish candle, bearish candle, bullish candle. But if the thing wants to commit, it probably will commit, and it'll just be like 2-3 candles taking us back to the low, and then kind of all your profits come very, very quickly, or relatively quickly, I would say. But yeah, still looking pretty good. So hopefully that can continue. The key thing is that we're rejecting that area. That's the key thing. Even if the market does move sideways a little bit, if the market can keep maintaining that level as resistance and not see candle closure above, then you're looking good. Okay, we'll go through the DAX. Okay, you bought DAX 188. Okay, let me go and take a look. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It does really help out. If you haven't done so already, and of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because of course, YouTube will do its job in notifying you. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you go and do that. But I appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far and shown a bit of love. Anyway, we'll take a look at that DAX position 18821. Okay, is this the high? More or less. Okay, so you had a buy around 18821. Okay, that's around here-ish. TP was at the high. Okay. Really nice buy then. Okay, so it almost came back into that area there, I suppose. So 18,821 around there. It almost came back into it. So you're looking to see if you can catch that another buy back to the high. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the current climate of the market, it's really, really bullish. And I do think we're going to explode past this point at some point and really see a lot of upside. So I do expect us to go through some more upside as well. So I would very much agree with the buys, to be honest. Very much agree with the buys. I think at least back to the resistance there, and then we'll see what's happening. Okay, near the H150 where I got in, then we get the 50 in play, drop to the H1. Oh, okay, so I suppose you wait for the break and you bought above that. Okay, makes sense. We're kind of doing the same thing now, to be honest. Maybe not quite in the same area where you bought previously, but looks like the market is respecting that 50 pretty well. Did break below it a little bit, but it's closed above and now just provided a nice little wick on top of it. So looks like price is just resting on that 50. Could potentially provide that next higher low and a continuation high. So yeah, I don't knock it, to be honest. I don't knock it. I think we are going to break through the high there at some point. Pound CAD, Antonio. Okay, we'll have a look. Let me know your bias with pound CAD. But yeah, with DAX, I do like the upside there. I think in general, I'm looking at a lot of these major indices, and I think they'll continue to push up. In terms of pound CAD, yeah, still pretty bearish with this one. It's interesting because with pound CAD, we've come more or less into a major high in the higher time frames, like the monthly chart. Marked out this level here. We kind of just missed it by like a few pips, but more or less we've come into an area where you do expect to see some higher time frame sellers come in, some long-term profit taking, and the buyers come in, and expecting to see a bit of a drop. But at the same time, we do have a really nice bullish trend here on the daily chart, which we still have to show respect to until we see some signs that the market is about to reverse. So I think for pound CAD, I'm expecting at least some retracement. Potentially, if we can get to here, I think the buys will look good. Of course, we'll see how things look if we get there and how we react. But if you're looking at sells, that's kind of the target I would have. And if I'm looking for buys, that's kind of the place I want to get involved and see if I can take it back to where it came from. So with pound CAD, I'll keep an eye on the shorts. I said it on the intraday level. If you're not already in the position for pound CAD and you're kind of waiting for price to go through a bit of a correction, retest some structure, and then find some opportunities that way, that makes sense to me there for pound CAD. But generally speaking, yeah, I think we're going through at least another retracement. So if you can get a pullback in the low time frames, great. Some shorts there. Again, you don't necessarily have to look to target all the way down here. There'll be other targets you can look at. I'm sure of it. And if you're looking for the buys for pound CAD, then 1.785 looks great. And then maybe you can take it back to the high as well. And you can probably catch a really nice risk reward there too as well. So I'm liking pound CAD from both the seller point of view and the buyer's point of view. It's just about timing and getting the right trade. But for now, expecting at least some more retracement. Doubt I'll take it though whenever in the past I've re-entered trades it fails. Well, I guess we all kind of have our kind of chinks in our armor, little things that we kind of pick up on that doesn't quite work. Maybe some pairs that you trade that don't play out too well, or re-entering a trade after win doesn't work out too well, or immediately getting back to the market after a win because maybe you're a little bit overconfident. So you take trades too easily, and then that trade doesn't play out, or maybe taking trades directly after a loss because you're a little bit emotional. Everyone's got those kind of little things that they can spot and realize, okay, when I do this, it doesn't tend to work out well. So let me do it less, or let me see how I can fix it if there's a way of fixing it. But yeah, if it fits the plan well, I don't see why not. But of course, if it just doesn't play out well in the past, then there's no need. If there's a better opportunity on the horizon on a different pair or a pair you're looking at, just kind of wait for that to set up. So yeah. So yeah, in terms of where I'm at, I'm kind of just mainly focused with the yen pairs as I've been talking about the past couple of weeks. I'm looking for some big sells on these ones. Currently in pound yen, but I'm expecting all of them to drop really. It's just pound yen looks the best for me in terms of the trade. But I do expect all of them to see some downsides. I like Swiss yen quite a lot as well. This one's struggling a lot of that area. Again, I wasn't so tempted to get into Swiss yen, particularly because we've got Swiss interest rates on tomorrow, actually. Swiss interest rates tomorrow morning, which rates are expected to cut. So we could see some weakness in the Swiss. At the same time, I know it's going to be volatile, and Swiss can really move as well. Swiss is one of those currencies where it doesn't take much to get this one going, especially with Wix as well. So I happily trade pound. I don't think there's major pound news coming out soon, at least not that I'm aware of anyway. And the risk was a little bit better there as well. So that's why I went with pound yen. But Swiss yen looks like a good short to me. I think if you can keep this up, see a strong close to the downside, like that in full hour, that would be a nice confirmation for me. Stops above the high, a bit of wiggle room, targeting the low down there. But I do think we can go further and target some of these areas down there as well. So the risk reward looks really good for these yen pairs. Aussie yen, I like the sell as well. Not quite at the level yet, but shorts around here would be something I'll be interested in. Again, looking for a big sell to the low. That's what I'm looking at. Dollar yen, the sells are not too clean for me. I mean, I don't mind the sells up here. But again, we're a long way away from that. But that's kind of what I would bank on. Euro yen, I like the sells around this area. Again, we're pretty far away from that, but still a great opportunity. New Zealand yen, I like the sells here too. Again, it's pretty much the same trade, just copy and paste it. Pound yen, that's the one I'm in. And CAD yen, looking for the shorts around this area here. Stops above the high. That's what I'm looking at. They're all looking to do the same thing as well. Call the top on that next move and take those shorts. They're all slightly aggressive trades because you're basically shorting all of that momentum that we've seen in the daily chart. And you're going against the longer term trend as well, which has been up for these yen pairs for a while. So it's a slightly more of aggressive trade. But if we are going to top it out and see those lower highs, then we're in a great place for it to happen. And if it does play out, you're looking at some really good risk rewards as well. So I think it's worth the risk as long as you're not over risking and betting half your account on it. I think it's a really nice opportunity on the yen pairs. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. Of course, just managing pound yen. There's nothing for me to do really until we start moving to profit. My stop loss is in place. So should we push up higher, I will be taken out. If there's push down low, I'll start looking at trading at some point. But nothing to do at the moment. Euro USD, dollar yen. I was supposed to look at Euro USD ages ago. I completely forgot about that. I'll go through Euro and dollar yen, no problem. DAX is violent when it pulled back at the 50 in the red. Yeah, true. Only using a 0.04 and then 50 pull back and then it goes 50 quid in the red. Yeah, that's the deal with certain markets, especially with the indices as well. You have to be careful with your lot size. You can't just jump straight in with the lot size you normally trade with, you like Euro USD, because it's going to be a lot bigger on the DAX, for example, or US 30 than it will be with Euro. So you definitely need to watch out for your position sizing as well. But yeah, we'll take a look at Euro. So Euro just being bullish, pretty strong candle closure yesterday. This candle here on the daily, pretty strong candle closure in the daily. So I'm naturally just expecting the market to push higher up now for Euro. This is the level I've been discussing for a while, 1.123, 1.125. That's where I do think Euro is going to end up at. I can see we're respecting the high there a little bit, so it's probably not the best time to be looking to buy Euro as we do approach the high. I've said yesterday that the best place for me in terms of a buy is definitely these two areas down there, but that kind of being said and done right now. Fortunately, I was trail up the trade over there. But the market is still pretty bullish to me. So I think if you're looking at opportunities, maybe this area comes into play now. If you look for another pullback, because essentially you're looking for the higher low, could happen at that area. Yeah, as we keep pushing up higher, and then see the next continuation. I must say the price action for Euro isn't looking great on the lower time frame, so it's not a market which I'll be looking to trade intraday. But if you're trying to find a position, that's kind of how I'll look to tackle it, and try and find the next higher low. But the idea is that Euro is still bullish, the trend's still up, and this is our next major target on the daily time frame. So that's why I do expect euro to end up at. So I think buys look good. You do want to see a bit of retracement as we approach the high here. So you do want to see a bit of a dip in the market. You're trying to find the next high low in this bullish sequence here. And that is like the most reasonable place to expect it. And then targets, yeah, I'll be looking at 1.123 up there. So that's how I look to tackle euro. Personally, the areas which I would look to buy from are these two areas here. But as I've said, I don't think we'll get there. So I won't speak about that too much until it looks likely, and then I can speak about that in a bit more detail. But we're very, very far away, so no point discussing too much. But from a swing point of view, they look great. I think in an intraday, point of view, this looks like your most realistic opportunity for a trade. But yeah, expecting more upside for euro dollar anyway, especially if the DXY holds onto this level here at 100.5, which we've just broken through right now. If the market is going to remain underneath that, especially if we push into it, give us some wicks, some rejection, it could be looking at a really nice continuation on the dollar, which of course will take euro to the upside with it as well. So yeah, not bad from euro. Price action isn't great intraday, but I think we're in a good situation where we're likely to see upside. It's just about, can we find a good buy? Dollar yen, I'll move on to as well. And Keba, welcome to the stream. I already said welcome, haven't I? CAD Chef for hour. Okay, you got a position going on there. We'll take a look. Is that the trade you told me about a couple of days ago? I remember you said you were looking to short CAD Chef a couple of days ago. I'll have a look in a second. Let me just go through dollar yen. So in terms of dollar yen, this one again still struggling to break through that top end of that descending channel. Again, I'm looking for a big bearish move on dollar yen. That's very much my bias. But at the moment, we're going through a bullish retracement. So it's just about how far this bullish move will go until we put that high and drop. It doesn't look like we're successful in terms of holding this upper end of the channel because we had a nice rejection yesterday, but all we did was just push into the low, and now we're looking bullish again. So as I said yesterday, shorts look good here, but I would be careful as we approach the low here in terms of locking some gains in there just in case we go through something like that. So now that the price is kind of consolidated in that area, if you're looking for a short, I would say wait for something like this intraday and then look for some shorts there, because right now it's kind of 50-50 if price will break above it or break below. If at least we can break some structure, it will make things a little bit clearer. So something like that. Intraday will look good. And then some shorts there, maybe on the 15-minute. In terms of if we do break out, then there could be some nice buys intraday, something like this, retest, and then a buy back into 147. That's my next area where I'm looking for that big sell. So there could be some nice intraday buys on the way up before we do get that sell. And as you can see on the lower time frames, being pretty consistent with these higher lows as well on the hourly. Low, high, low, high, low. This looks to be potentially the next high low. It's not confirmed yet, but price is en route to making a new high if we can break through that swing point there. So if we can go through that, get the breakout of that channel, then there could be some nice buys on the retest. And of course, you're looking to take that back to 146.5, 147. And then we can discuss some sales later on. But for now, that might be the next best move. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for dollar yen. If you're looking for the sell, then let's start breaking through the low. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Euro USD and dollar yen. But keep an eye on the dollar because that will be a big indication of what we're going to expect to see with USD. And of course, that will influence more so Euro USD than dollar yen. I think yen's the more important currency to focus on in terms of dollar yen, but in terms of Euro USD, dollar is definitely the important one. So keep an eye to see what DXY does at this level. If we do start rejecting it, then I do think we can see a big move down for dollar. Of course, that will help euro push up as well. Kenzie, Jeff, and Kevin will take a look afterwards. Okay, alarm gone off for Aussie New Zealand dollar. Looking for a swing on that one. Not a big fan of that pair. I have to applaud you for looking to trade Aussie New Zealand dollar. It's a very, very choppy one. But you're looking to swing. Which direction? Looking for a big buy or a sell? Let me know. And Keba, pound Aussie. Okay, we'll take a look at that pound Aussie opportunity as well. What's up, Anis? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good, my man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let me go through that CAD CHF position you mentioned. So CAD CHF, pretty sure you said you were looking at some downside. Yeah, CHF has just been really weak. So CAD CHF is flying. It's really pushing pretty hard, and we're seeing that across all these currencies. So Euro CHF, that one's not messing around at all. That one's flying pretty hard. Pound CHF looking pretty bullish there. Aussie CHF looking pretty bullish there as well. So CHF is really weak at this point in time. And it looks like CAD CHF has broken out this descending channel as well. So to me, I think there's a pretty good chance that CAD CHF makes a move back to the high here at 0.636, because typically when we do break out of these descending channels, the market does normally move to the origin, to the start of where the channel started from, which is this high here. So that's kind of where I do expect the market to push into. In terms of your trade in Keba, I assume you enter that 0.63448, 0.63448. Okay, that's around there-ish. Stop loss 0.639. Okay, so you're looking at a sell around this area here then. 639, and then targets 0.62. Okay, not a bad trade. I don't mind this at all. 0.62 is down at these lows here. So yeah, not a bad trade. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it at all, because price is now, pushing back to the high there. Essentially, you're looking for this level to hold as resistance, and you're looking for us to sell off to the downside. So I don't mind that. And your stop's in a pretty reasonable place as well. I think, kind of trading in this area here too. So you got a bit of confidence there as well. So I like it. I like the trade. I'm more of a person who waits for price to get to a certain area, then I see how we react there before I do take the trade. So I don't really look at pending orders or setting a limit order and then waiting for that to be filled to trigger me to the trade. I always wait for candlestick patterns and rejection, wicks, momentum before I look to enter. So that's kind of what I'll be waiting for. But I would expect CAD CHF to push into that level anyway. And if things look good there, we start rejecting. I think that will be a really nice short. In terms of location, it makes a lot of sense. In terms of the direction as well, I think it makes sense too. Since the market is seeing lower lows and lower highs, I've been continuing pretty bearish. I think there is a well where we could retrace a little bit higher up to this area here as well. So should that trade fail, I think, don't be put off from the idea. We might just be having a bigger pullback into this area around 0.645, which could give you a nice short there too. So watch out for that as well. But yeah, I like the location. And I think target's pretty reasonable. I would say maybe looking at managing that trade, trading a stop loss, taking a partial somewhere, maybe as we approach the high here. But realistically, I think it makes a lot of sense, your trade. So can't knock it. I like the sells. But yeah, CHF is so weak right now. Okay, we'll go through Aussie, New Zealand dollar, pound Aussie as well. Okay, looking for a huge sell. Okay, fair play. We'll go through Aussie, New Zealand dollar for you. Rode away with yeah, I think fundamentally gold has a good possibility to keep rising. I think generally speaking, gold is pretty undervalued, so I do think gold can push up anyway. But of course, in the current climate, if tension increases, then we do see gold being that safe haven and that trustworthy currency, commodity, which people want to invest their money in. So of course, with that situation there, you would expect gold to push higher, and that's why gold can really just fly, really, because it doesn't move like a currency pair where it has to come back to the kind of the average. Gold is just a metal which is just going to continue to gain value over time. So with added tension, I think it just accelerates gold even more, which we're kind of seeing already, which we've seen in the past as well. So fundamentally, I think gold is very bullish, and technically, and we're just seeing higher highs and higher lows, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down, to be honest. It looks like, if anything, it's speeding up. So yeah, I like gold to the upside. In terms of Aussie New Zealand dollar, you're looking for a big sell. So yeah, I have to be honest, not a big fan of Aussie New Zealand dollar. Price action just very, very choppy. It does revert back on itself a lot. I think there is a lot of opportunity to be taken advantage on this pair. If you look for a lot of mean reversion opportunities here, if you're looking for swing and not swing, if you're looking for like trending opportunities, then it's going to be difficult on this pair because we don't really trend well. We have our moments, but on average, it's not great. There are other pairs that move better. So yeah, with Aussie New Zealand dollar, looking for a big sell. What's your plan for it? What's your targets? What you're looking for, Holy One? I think in terms of my view for Aussie New Zealand dollar, I like it to the downside, but purely because we've kind of got a range here. The market's kind of faked the high of the range. So to me, it looks like we could see price push back to the lower end of that range, similar to what dollar CAD is doing, which is around 1.06. That's kind of what I've been talking about with the Aussie New Zealand dollar, but at the same time, I don't really want to trade that either because I'm not really liking how it's moving. I mean, it looks like it's trying to form another lower high, to be honest. We formed a one over there, second there, looks like a third there potentially. Maybe now we're going to see the price continue back to the low. Maybe this low there as well, and eventually there. So I can make some sense of that. But again, just in terms of the way it's moving, it's just very corrective and doesn't trend well. So I would always rather trade another currency pair like a yen pair or a dollar pair, which I know trends a little bit better, or some of the other crosses. Sometimes Aussie will give me something good, which I can't turn up, can't say no to. But yeah, not a big fan now. But I can see some downside there longer term, but I'm just not very optimistic on the trade. But of course, I'm sure you got your confirmations. I'm sure you got your confluences, which you'll wait for. And if everything lines up, the trade is there to take. But for me, not a big fan of the conditions. Okay, so you need one more confirmation, and it's not ready yet, but I'll see. Okay. OP, yes, I'm still in pound yen. Still trading that one. Taking its sweet time, but it's still holding my level. So as long as we can maintain that level as resistance, then I'm looking for a big sell. 0.8152. So somewhere around there. What is that? Where you're looking for target, an entry, and stop loss? Okay, I'm guessing that's your target. Okay, so you're looking for more of an intraday move there, something like that, unless I'm mistaken. But yeah, as I said, not a big fan of Aussie New Zealand dollar. It's just so choppy, so choppy. It has its times where it does trend, but it's not. It doesn't do it often enough for me to like. Bloody yen pairs. Yeah, the yen pairs aren't forgiving, but they can be very rewarding as well. If you catch it right, you catch it right. Especially the shorts as well. They do really rip when they do play out. So it's about staying patient. and making sure you're following a plan and making sure you're managing your risk, because there's a lot of pips right now with these yen pairs. My stop loss is 223 pips there. So you got to adjust your lot size to that. If I'm trading euro where my stop loss is like 40 pips, 50 pips, or sometimes less, my lot size in euro is going to be a lot different as on pound yen. I can't be trading the same lot size as euro as with pound yen, because I'll probably be losing 4 or 5 times as much or even more potentially. So you have to be careful of that. And of course, the targets will make up for it as well. My target with this trade is around 1,000 pips, which is pretty big as well, but it's reasonable to what pound yen's giving us. If I want to have a 200 pip stop loss, I need to have roughly a big target. Not necessarily 1,000 pips, but that's kind of what I'm expecting for pound yen if it does play out. And across the board, you're seeing similar sizes with the pips as well. Have I accidentally removed some yen pairs? I think I have. Euro yen as well. And how that happened. There we go. So yeah, looking for the same move across the board for the yen pairs, but it will take their time. No problem. Happy to help. Oh, okay, 1.08152. Okay. 1.08. Okay. So you're looking for a swing into this area here. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I think we're doable. We're doable. If the market is going to form another lower high here, then that's exactly where you expect the market to end up at. So again, it makes sense. But as I said, just not a big fan of the conditions here. GJ going small positions first. Yeah, of course. It's them that push price, not us. We just ride the wave. Exactly. We're not pushing much here. Even if you had millions in your trading account, that's not going to do much either. So yeah, of course, we're just riding the wave. We're riding the wave, and that's the thing. You're looking where, as a trader, you're looking where sellers will enter the market, where you're looking for buyers. Because at the end of the day, however you analyze the market, whether strategy or indicator, whatever you're using, you're essentially looking to sell what other sellers are selling and buy what other buyers are buying. Of course, there's method behind that, but effectively, that's the plan. If the market's going to go up, it needs buyers. If the market's going to go down, it needs sellers. So you're effectively looking to find out where those sweet spots are in the market, and then you're looking to enter in those areas. And the higher time, the bigger players are the ones that are going to move price. And as a retail trader, you're looking to find out where those areas are where you can hop in and take advantage of the wave, ride the wave. OP, okay, targeting 600 pips as well on UJ though. Yeah, of course, UJ doesn't have as much pips as pound yen, so that's why it's a little bit bigger. But you probably wouldn't have a 200 plus pip stop loss with dollar yen. You probably can get that to maybe 100, maybe even less potentially as well. So your probably stop loss wouldn't be as big as mine. But yeah, with UJ as well, it can give you a lot of pips. All these yen pairs will have a lot of pips about it. The key thing is making sure you're managing your position size, because one lot on euro is not the same as one lot on pound yen or euro yen. There's a big difference. Of course, for the given pips. Morning, Ben. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In terms of the USD pairs this week, I think I've just missed the boat with them, to be honest, because we've seen some lovely continuations. USD, big move to the upside there, smacking its head right into that level there. Aussie dollar actually breaking through the high there as well. Euro flying, not really actually. It's trying to fly. Pound USD flying though, seeing some downside now. Of course, gold and silver enjoying life, pushing up really, really well there too. So I think it's coming up to a time where I'm expecting some retracement now for the dollar pairs. Still very bullish on them because I'm still very bearish on USD, but I think naturally now is a good time to see a bit of a pause to that momentum, especially like New Zealand dollar, which has smacked its head right into that level there. If New Zealand dollar can do something like that, that would be great. And that would be a buy, which I would be interested in on the retest of that area there. Try and catch the next wave. If Aussie dollar can pull back as well, see some higher lows somewhere, that would be something I'll be interested in. Same thing with Euro. If that was to pull back, I'll be interested in some buys too. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. But yeah, some really big moves now. And I think longer term, pairs like Aussie dollar probably will push back to the high here. Expecting us to kind of break through this area. I think if you can push down, catch a higher low, that would be great. And kind of just ride that to the upside. New Zealand dollar, I think it's a similar situation as well. I think we'll probably push back to the high over there too. But we'll go for a bit of a pullback first, find some higher lows and try and ride that back to the high there too. And as dollar, as I've been talking, I do think we'll keep falling. I think we'll actually push further than this. But this is just the point where I do think we'll go for a bigger retracement. So longer term, there's a lot of room to the downside. As I'm looking at this on the monthly chart, and to me, it looks like price has just had a big kind of fake out above the high there. So I do think we'll kind of just bleed back in at some point. Something like that is kind of what I'm envisioning with dollar. But of course, this is very, very long term. You don't really need to be discussing a move like this all the way down to the 90 region for dollar. But again, I do look at the higher time frames just to see what's happening. It's not always in terms of trading. Sometimes it's just knowing a long-term bias and just staying aware of it. Because of course, in the meantime, I will take buys and take advantage of upside as well. But once we take out this low, I feel like we probably will go through a bit of a retracement. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for dollar. But yeah, pairs like Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, I think there's a lot more upside for them. I do think they'll correct first, and that could be a nice opportunity for a buy. So I'm keeping a lookout for them. That's really what my focus is for these dollar pairs. Some corrections down, some buys. Pound USD, a retest of that looks good now as well. So keep an eye on that too. Dollar CAD, I'm expecting us to push to the low. I think if you can get strong breaking retest of the low there, that will look good for me. But again, long way away before that does form. So that's where my focus will be. Ben, dollar about to get some relief. Euro and G on high time frame resistance starting to reject. Possibly it could be looking to retrace now. Again, as I've just said, I'm still very bearish on the dollar. So even if we do go through some upside, I'm expecting us to topple out somewhere and drop back down again. So I'm looking at my thinking is that every upside move I see on dollar is temporary. Of course, I don't know how far it will be. It might be a small move for a day. It could be a bigger move for a week or two. But I do think it will top out and continue the path to the downside. But I think the key thing on the dollar, though, on the DXY is that DXY has broken through the lower end of the range. It could be a big fake out. Maybe dollar wants to creep back inside this area. And then we can probably push up. So something like that could happen on the dollar. It depends how we react to this level. I think I 100% agree with you for pound USD at least, because pound USD has really pushed on and created new highs there. So I do think it's time for retracement. We've got a lovely swing high here at 1.325, which looks like a really nice place for a buy. Euro, I kind of still want to see a bit more upside before I expect retracement. I know Euro is kind of stuck at this level of resistance right now, which could see some downside, and I think that's the level you're referring to. But I'm still banking on Euro getting to the high here at 1.123. So I still see a bit more upside. Maybe we do retrace before that, before we push on. But again, the downside I'm looking is temporary. So pound retrace is great. This to me looks like a nice base for a buy. Look for some longs there. And then, yeah, looking to take that to the moon. Well, not to the moon, but to the upside. So, yeah, I think retracement is what we're going through. A bit of relief. I think that's a nice word to use. But I think the overall move, the overall trend is still alive and well. Until I see some red flags in the daily chart, I'm still expecting upside. And Keba, UK 100, supply zone 84. Okay, we'll take a look. And targets, okay, we'll go for UK 100. Jonah, before making my first payout, frustrating. I know how that can be very frustrating, especially doing all the hard work passing, just to go and blow. I think the biggest takeaway is just use it as a lesson. Just use it as a lesson. Just because you blew that account doesn't mean you suck at trading and then you're not going to get a payout. Of course not. It's just an obstacle you have to overcome. It's just a bump in the road, really. It's not the be all or end all. So I think just take away the major lesson from there, which is I think just slowing it down because you've done the hard work to pass the challenge. So now that the account is yours, just take it slow. Just take it slow. Of course, I know you want to get payout quickly. Who doesn't? But you don't want to just get, even if you got a payout, even you got your first payout and then you blew it afterwards. It's like, what's the point? You want to keep it as long as possible. So take it slow and steady. Write down some lessons which you learned from that one, and come back stronger, my man. Come back stronger. But I think the key takeaway is that you passed the challenge. You did the hard work, so that means you can do it again. But yeah, definitely frustrating, of course, definitely frustrating. But you'll be back, like Arnold. You'll be back. Okay, let me look at UK 100. Okay, it's not there. So UK 100, in Keba, you said it's at a supply zone, so I assume you're looking for a sell. 84K, which is around there. Stop loss 86.9, 86.9. Okay, that's a pretty big stop loss. So all the way up there. I don't know if that's correct. And targets 82,200. Yeah, I'm not too sure that's correct because I don't know, unless your risk reward's a little bit off there, you're looking kind of like a 1 to 0.64, which again, it's not necessarily incorrect, but I'm always a big believer in a positive risk reward, even if it is like a 1.12 to a 1. Just a little bit more on the profit. I think long term can be very beneficial. So I'm not the biggest fan of the risk reward there. I think in terms of the location, of course, you're essentially expecting the high to hold the market to reverse, and you're giving yourself quite a lot of buffer room there as well, because there's no kind of real structure on the left to look at since these are all-time highs. So yeah, you've given yourself a lot of room for the market to reverse and eventually hit that area. In terms of the targets, I think it's pretty reasonable. Not looking for anything crazy. But yeah, I think the risk profile is a little bit off, to be honest. I think you can probably tighten that stop loss. Of course, I'm sure it's there for a reason, so I'm not gonna say you to change it. But if I was looking for a similar trade of that, I would definitely have it a little bit tighter, and then that risk reward could turn a lot more. Of course, the probability of me getting stopped out is now higher, but if it does play out, I can probably make twice of what I'm risking for the trade, which longer term will help me out. Um, if it does play out. So I think in terms of location, not bad. I'm very much looking for a push to the upside for UK 100. I like the buys down here with all these wicks. If the market was to push into that area, I think that's a great place for a buy to take it back to the high. So that's very much the idea I'm looking at. Yeah, the only thing I don't like is that risk profile. It's a little bit awkward in my book. That's correct, OP. Take a short break, come back stronger. Yeah, because trading is a performance based profession, just like sport, which is why a lot of people compare trading to sport. I mean, I do quite a lot. Um, there will be times where you kind of stressed and you're not thinking right, and you need to take a break. Just like professional athletes, they will hire, um, you know, people to help with mental coaching. They take time off as well. Therapy, all of that is. I'm not saying you have to go through all of that, but I'm just saying that there will be times where you're not be thinking right. Definitely after an event like that, which will be very frustrating, especially if you just go back trading straight away. Um, it might be it might have a toll on your trading. So take a break, come back stronger, learn from your lessons. So yeah, with the dollar pairs, still very bullish on, but I do think we can go through some retracement, and that could provide some nice buys. I think this is something I'll be talking about next week. Really, I think this week might be the retracement week for these USD pairs. So yeah, I don't think I'll be getting any buys because it's already Wednesday, so probably not. But that's okay because my focus is with these yen pairs as of right now. Pound yen, of course, and a bit of drawdown, but stop loss is well above that level, so I've got the room for it to play. Just need to keep an eye on it. But again, it's a long-term swing trade. If it plays out, it's going to take its time. You need to step back and not get in the way of the trade. Keep an eye on some of these other yen pairs as well. And not a big fan of the crosses at the moment. No cross pairs really doing it for me. I mean, I like pound NZD on the buy at the low here, 2.09. I think that's a really nice place for a buy, but of course, that'll take some time to get there. Pound Aussie, I don't mind the buys here at 1.93. I like that for a buy. If we were to get there, recheck that area. I think that's a great place to position yourself long, stops underneath the low, seeing what we can do from that area. That makes a lot of sense to me as well. I like Aussie CHF and some of the shorts as we push into this level here around 0.586. You can see this level here was a really big level there of support resistance. And then as we're coming back into retest that low, I think we're in a good place to see some downside there too. So we'll be looking for some shorts there for Aussie CHF. It's kind of like a big head and shoulder. Not the cleanest one, but there's your left, there's your head, and there's kind of your right shoulder. So we'll see how that gets going on, but I do expect Aussie CHF long term to still break to the downside. Expecting us to see new lows past this point, which we were very close in doing, but didn't quite do. So for me, price still got a good reason to head lower. So I'm happy to look to trade this one. And this is the next best area for me. So we'll be waiting for some entries in that area. No problem, Jonah. Happy to help. Let me have a quick look at the news for the rest of the week. And then we've got the Swiss interest rates tomorrow. But do you have any big dollar news coming out? So today's Wednesday. Okay, we've got new home sales at 3 o'clock for USD. Again, not really a news event, which I'll panic for. Not really a big one. So Of course, I'll keep an eye, but not looking for much from that one. Tomorrow, okay, so we got Bank of Japan monetary policy minutes. That could affect yen. I'll be sleeping at that time. That's 12:50 in the morning, so I'll be asleep. But again, I've got my stop in place. So worst case scenario, we are protected. And then we've got the Swiss interest rate at 8:30 a.m. This is all UK time. That's tomorrow as well. Then we've got durable goods, USD 130, GDP growth rate 130 as well. That could be interesting for dollar. Jobless claims at 132. So yeah, 130 tomorrow might be interesting for USD. And Friday, PCE. So that could move the market as well. And that's at 132. So yeah, Thursday, Friday, interesting days. Wednesday, nothing really, to be honest. But Thursday, Friday might be interesting in terms of yen and USD. So I'll keep an eye on those currencies for tomorrow and the day after. But it's not a major week. There's nothing critical this week. We've already had the Fed interest rate. We had the Bank of England. We've had Euro. We've had yen. We're about to have Swiss. So we're already going through some big events. All right, OP, no problem, my man. Have a good one. We'll catch you tomorrow. Take care, take care. Favor silver. Yeah, silver's been pretty interesting, to be honest, but I'm just expecting more upside, to be honest. Or silver. We've hit a big level on the daily chart, but I do think we'll eventually go and break through. You can see silver slowly gaining pace to the upside and now clearing out the highs there. So longer term, that's where I do think silver is going to get to. Of course, that's very, very long term. We're probably not going to look for that move there unless you're kind of like investing and parking money in silver. You know, you're not really too bothered about that high just yet, but that's where we do expect price to get to. Weekly chart, more of the same. You can see all the high lows building up there very nicely. I'm expecting that to continue. But of course, at the moment, we're just coming back to resistance now. So now's not the best time for a buy. On the weekly chart, you're kind of looking for a big breakout and looking for the next phase, the next pullback before you're looking for some entries. Other than that, now's not the time to be doing much. Daily chart, more of the same as well. We just pushed up after creating this high low. We're now back at the high. So I think if you're looking at trading silver, you're looking at kind of some intraday opportunities. So breaking retest on this area here looks good. Come back, retest that. That looks like a nice little buy back to the high and then call it a day. We might get the breakout, we might not. But I think that's a sensible trade there. A lot of momentum in this candle. I think price is going to correct that and try and continue anyway. So I like silver to the upside. It's got a big level, needs to break through to really get going in its next kind of bull run. I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But in terms of a swing, now's not the best time to be looking to buy silver, of course, as we trade into that resistance. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with silver, but still very bullish. You'll be asleep, but I'm always asleep, but my alarms wake me. Yeah, I don't set my alarms, my man. If something happens during the night, you know, I'm not involved. If there's a great setup on Euro Yen, I'm gonna miss it. To be honest, it's not the worst end of the world because me jumping the full hour means I do have a bit more time. So even if it does set up at like 2 a.m. And then I wake up, as long as price hasn't gone too far, I'll still look to enter. Means I probably won't get the best entry. My stop loss might be a bit bigger, but if the risk reward still looks good, I'll still go for the trade, even if I'm entering a little bit late. So that's the kind of the beauty of the full hour. I can still get the entry even if it's a little bit late. Depends, of course. Sometimes price will just rip it, during the Asian session. Of course, I'll miss that trade, but sometimes it doesn't. It takes its time to get going. Sometimes it waits for London so I can still get that entry. But if something does set up during the night, I'm asleep. I'm not trying to disturb that at all. I'm trying to make sure I'm getting my beauty sleep so I can wake up fresh. But kudos to you though, waking up at 3 a.m. to take a trade, still having your wits about you. I have to applaud that. Yeah, that's very true. The market's still moving. Of course, you got the Asian session just alive and well at 3 a.m. The market doesn't sleep, especially the FX market doesn't sleep for anyone. But I've got to get my beauty sleep in, my man. I can't be waking up at 3 a.m. to take a trade. All right, Will, take care. I'll keep you updated. Okay, nice. Hopefully the oil can get moving. We'll chat to you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and sub. Appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the content, the channel, please be sure to drop a like and drop a like and sub. It does really help out the channel. And of course, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams uploads in the future. Silver different from gold, pattern. Gold brings more. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Are you talking about better trades? Not sure what you're saying, Anton. Yeah, that's of course a bummer for people in the US as well. London session starts at 3 a.m. I mean, of course, you got the New York session. Kind of as you wake up, you've got the New York session there for you in the morning. Of course, the markets do move quite a lot during London as well, so it'd be nice to have the opportunity to trade that. And I guess you just have to wake up early. But yeah, in the UK, I'm quite in a nice place, to be honest. Of course, I miss out on the Asian session. But of course, when I wake up, the London's starting, and then of course in the afternoon I've got the New York as well. So I can look for entries in those sessions, which for they're the two biggest sessions as well. Asian does have its movements, but I'm happy to sacrifice looking for entries during the Asian session so I can get my sleep going. So I can make that sacrifice because there's more than enough opportunities in London and New York, so I don't need to look at the Asian as well. Of course, there's some great trades there too, but I'm happy to miss out on them. But of course, in the US, if you're looking to trade London, you have to wake up pretty early, so that's a bit of a bummer. You set an alarm as well. Yeah, kudos to you guys. I like my sleep too much. All right, have a good day, Karis. Catch you tomorrow. So yeah, for me, I'm just gonna focus on pound yen. Like I said, there's nothing really for me to do apart from just keep up to date in terms of managing the trade. The stops in place, the targets. I'll be trading anyway, so there's no take profit place. But I'll look to see if I can start trading at some point. Of course, right now it's going against me, so we need to see if this level can hold. If it does turn around, great. We'll see if we can get a push down and start trading, but even that will take some time. And there's no other pair which I'm looking to jump in really. Again, my main focus is the yen pairs. I've already kind of ticked that box with pound yen, so I'm not looking to jump into another one until pound yen is looking good. In terms of the dollar pairs, I'm looking for some big pullbacks in them. NZUSD looks good. Pound USD, I will look for the breaking test at the high. These opportunities probably will take 2-3 days to get going, so I'm probably be looking at next week for the trade. Same with gold, that'll take some time as well. So for me, it's just kind of waiting. All right, guys, take care. Catch you tomorrow. Kingsley, what's good? I'm doing good, my man. Hope you're well. Welcome. Okay, Euro, Pound, and US. These are. We shall take a look. So with euro pound, we've been pretty bearish on this one. The market's been bleeding pretty well. I've marked out a big level here at 0.83, which is where I'm expecting the market to get to, which we just missed out on. But since we're having some upside now, I'm looking at that just to be a pullback for the market to continue lower. So my thought process with euro pound is that we're seeing some upside, but I do expect it to topple out at some point and continue down. So the plan is, where is that point where it might topple over and put that lower high in? I've marked out a couple of areas where it could happen, retest of that low or the retest of this low. That's kind of where I'll be looking for some shorts. Of course, wait for price to get there, see how it react, and then look for some entries. But at the moment, we are looking pretty bullish right now. So I do want price to kind of slow down, be a bit more corrective. We'll see how we get there. But effectively, we just want to be seeing some strong, solid rejection around 0.838 or 0.84, and then look for some downside there. And again, swings look good back into the low, back to where we came from. In terms of USD ZAR, USD ZAR, wow, really melting to the downside. I was expecting us to have a bit of a bounce, but no, USD ZAR is taking off. Well, we've got the swing low here, which would be an interesting point for USD ZAR. It's probably where we're coming to next, around 17. But yeah, this one's really melting. I didn't expect it to break through the low here, but it did. Without much remorse there. So yeah, I'll be looking for more downside now because that momentum has just continued and the lower highs are just relentless here. So if we can get some pullbacks, that'll be very much appreciated. A retest of that low would be a great place for a short, something like that, and then on your way, or even a retest of the low here as well, around 17.5. Not a bad place for a short as well, but effectively looking for a pullback. Looks like 17 is the next logical place where USD ZAR is ending up at, and then maybe from there we see some upside. But yeah, with that momentum, expecting more downside. If we can get a pullback at some point, that would be great. Find some entries and then take some shorts. But yeah, we'll be bearish now with USD ZAR, at least for pushing to that low after breaking that low there. So yeah, guys, that does take us to the end of the analysis. If you have joined it, found it useful, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Make sure you check out Elevating Trade's Discord channel, completely free to join. Discount opportunities will be available there come launch. So make sure you check it out if you don't want to miss out. As I said, guys, drop a like, subscribe, show some love on your way out. It really does help out, and appreciate everyone who has done that so far. Make sure you check out the Telegram as well. Any updates in the pound yen position will be there. So check it out. Link in the Telegram. Link to the Telegram is in the description. So go check it out. I will be live again tomorrow and Friday as well. Of course, every weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. So if you're free, make sure you pop in and say hi. But guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.